Where do you find your future spouse if you're a Catholic single? So here are some ideas. Note that a simple online search will not fix this problem, and even a dating app can work, but it will not fix that problem. You need a Catholic way to search for your spouse that is rooted in both God's love and grace. Grace is a gift given to you by God. God's love is what he gives to you already, whether you ask for it or not. So what is the Catholic way to search for a spouse? The places you go matter, but how you prepare your heart matters more when it comes to finding a spouse. So imagine a butterfly and it's hungry, so it goes from flower to flower getting the nectar. Doesn't go to one flower, it goes to a lot of flowers just to get the nectar. Once you move from flower to flower, this butterfly, it's looking for something that gives her life, the life-giving food. But while eating, she does something not really directly planned. She carries pollen from one flower to the other flower, doing the work of pollination. So which creates more flowers and fruits. So please do not overcomplicate this scenario or the scene. It's not biology, it's very simple. The love you should want the most when looking for a spouse is not the love of the spouse. You're actually going to look for God's love, not in a one-on-one relationship. This is the ultimate nectar that you're looking for. So if you chase God, it makes you ready to receive the sacrament of love, which is God's love, and finding the spouse. If God tells you, I'm going to give you a spouse, that is your bonus. It's the fruit of living a good Christian or Catholic life. Going after the Lord is how you get the true nectar of life. Relationships follow the kind of life that you are actually living. In other words, if you approach this as a Catholic, like I'm going to go to a bar, I'm going to meet a guy, and he tells me he's Catholic, yeah, so which is funny. And then on the second date, he asks, can we go to a motel? Why did that happen? Because the kind of relationship that you will have is going to be the kind of life you are actually already living. So if you live a good Catholic life, pursuing God, chasing after God, letting God chase after you, the kind of spouse you will meet will be like that. The kind of relationships you will have will be like that. So if you want a Catholic spouse, somebody who loves God and doesn't just say, I'm Catholic, I was baptized, and I'm going to die a Catholic, and nothing, and everything in between is my way, then you have to place yourself where Catholic life is truly happening, and not, I don't mean nominal. So here are 6 practical options for you to go. Number 1, visit places of pilgrimage and reverence, not just your parish church. I think the main complaint of most people when you're looking for a Catholic spouse is that there are no eligible ones in my church. Everybody's a mom or a dad or an old person. That's their problem. So get out of your church for a while. Sometimes look for a place of pilgrimage where lots of people go to. In our country, that would be a Padre Pio shrine, a Saint Teres shrine, a miraculous shrine like the Our Lady of Manawag, and then go there. Don't just show up, go to mass, be quiet, and do nothing. You join in the activities of that place. Make it a habit every weekend to seek out holy shrines and holy sites with deep reverence. I happen to know that if you work in the United States and you're a first timer, every weekend you're out. You go someplace. Like if you work in New York, every weekend you're Massachusetts, you're New Jersey, just touring the place, and it's really just nature buildings. But if I was there, I would probably find myself in these shrines near, specifically putting myself in a situation to meet Catholics just like me. If there's a church seminar and formation events, make sure you show up and be there. You might already do this, and everybody who attends is married or a mom. So look for talks about marriage, about virtue, and the spiritual life. That's way you can meet some people who are more interesting than the Lola. If you can't find anybody in your parish, then be very open to do this. Is attend seminars in a church that is outside your parish, a nearby city, nearby town, the other church in the entire barangay where you live. There's a seminar there, just go to their Facebook and then try to attend there. Maybe there are more young people your age in that area. Then you need to widen your circle to meet more people who are serious about their faith by not just restricting yourself to your parish. If there are, and there are, large World Youth Day type events, not the actual one, they do have like youth gatherings or young men, young women gatherings in your entire diocese, in the entire city. Go there. Now here's a warning. I'm telling you to go to these places, not to hunt down your spouse. Don't think of it as a place, so I'm going to date somebody here. No, treat it as your spiritual mission to go there. That's your primary goal, is to pursue God and not to pursue the spouse. There are also places called devotion-centered. masses where you're a Sacred Heart devotee, obviously you go to the Sacred Heart Shrine. Okay, you're a Fatima devotee, you go to Our Lady of Fatima Shrine, and there's a calendar date where you go there, and that's the most number of people will go there. You join them. Feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, you go obviously to Mount Carmel Church, and then you go there. There's tons of people. There are events. You join in the events that they have there, even though you don't go there on a regular basis. It's a devotion-centered mass. Okay. Now, if you have a love for Saint Therese and there's a event for that, go for it. If you have a love for Sacred Heart, there's a specific devotion and a specific mass for that. There's a Fatima mass. You go there on a regular basis, so people become once a month. They see you. Okay, you're now familiar, and if there's an eligible person there, you both know you're devoted to the same devotion, and you're like doing something more than normal for a Catholic. So you have a very good feel that this person is not just your regular, I'm gonna go to mass every Sunday and confess every year. And there's very little beyond that now, because this person is showing up in church once a month, an extra day a week. Okay. Also, Saint-Centric Events, there was an anniversary of the 800 years of the Franciscans. So there are events all over the world in Franciscan churches. The Saint Francis of Assisi relic was here. It's going around the Philippines. The Guadalupe relic replica is also going around the Philippines. Check out where it goes. Don't just go to your parish. Make it into some sort of pilgrimage or trip. Allows you to expose yourself to both the relic or the saint and to the people around that area. Okay. Again, don't go there and hunt. Do what you should be doing there. There are activities, you join the activities. All right. You note that if you do this and part of the devotion is you honor saints, then you will meet people trying to become a saint. And this is what you want to be a spouse, right? Correct? Oh, wow. All I have to do is go to these places and I'll find my Catholic spouse. As a single person, that would be exciting, but really it's not about the location where you are at. It's about being who you are. So if you're doing the minimum and expecting minimum results, you're usually going to be disappointed when it comes to your Catholic life, no? So if your routine is basically, I'm going to go to Mass on Sunday, and then I'm going to go to confess once a year during Lent, and please do not be surprised if the events and gatherings don't change your life the way you hope. You don't meet anybody significant. So how does it work? So Christian marriage is not just finding compatibility. No. It's a living sacrament. In other words, something will become real, and that's actually called a child. When you're married, okay, something will become real, and something will be born into the world. Okay? That's what a sacrament is. So there's a sacramental life that you as a married couple will have, okay? And that requires three things: formation, in other words, teaching them something; conversion of heart, meaning you overcome your defects. In example, you're overly angry at every small thing, so that's a defect. So you deal with it the whole life by trying to hold back your anger. Whenever you're thinking wrong things about and angry things, you have to ask God and ask your priest. I became angry again for the smallest reasons. Please pray for me. Yeah, so that's your conversion, and of course, asking for grace, because you will need that. What is grace? Is when you feel that you are able to do something that most people cannot do, and it's so easy for you. That's actually grace. So here are the basics for the inner preparation. So before you face that potential, you go through this. Simple. It's demanding and it's very effective. So number one is humility. You must ask God to give you humility directly. Don't just say, I want a spouse, Lord. No, just you have to work on what is humility. How can I use it in my life? Because that will help you. Okay. Now, then number two is sacraments, also known as don't neglect the Mass, especially if you can pull it off. Do more than one Mass a week if you can. So that's confession, reconciliation, and Eucharist. That's communion. So treat the sacraments, these sacraments, gifts from God, no, made by Jesus, as the center of your preparation for your spouse. As I said, preparing your spouse doesn't mean reading a book like How to Win Friends and Influence People. It doesn't mean reading a book like Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus. It means this one, preparing yourself as a good Christian. Monthly confession, try to aim for doing this, because if going to confession will feel uncomfortable, then that usually is a sign you should probably go once a month. Discomfort means you're protecting yourself instead of relying on God's mercy. I feel ashamed that I did the sin. It's really shameful. It's disgusting. No, so you ask for humility and trust, so that God will give you that grace to go there and gives the priest the grace to say yes to your confession, and both of you become available at that time. This is all grace. This is God designing the schedule of the priest and your schedule and the weather and the location to happen, to make your confession happen. That's grace. Okay. Now, this is a secret for many, many Catholics. You do a daily devotion to the Mother of God. Make it consistent. Maybe it's a rosary. Maybe it's a Hail Mary. Like, try replacing your LSS. You're singing the last song you sang because it was playing in the radio, in the TV, or in the jeepney, or in the taxi. So immediately replace your last song with a Hail Mary song or a Magnificat song. So that's one way you can have a daily devotion to the Mother of God. So you can also try, what I do is upon waking up, I automatically, my brain goes to like Hail Mary or something like that. Okay, an old traditional prayer, a memorare. Okay, so this will allow you to have a Christ-centered life, because who loves Jesus more than you? It's the Mother of God. Okay. Okay. So you need to have a daily prayer that includes your guardian angel, because it could be as simple as waking up in the morning, say the guardian angel prayer, and checking in the evening before you sleep. You greet your guardian angel, hi guardian angel, and you ask for favors, you ask for prayer, you ask for guidance. Make him, her, the angel, a more active part of your life. All right. Next one is scripture and real study. You read the scripture, spend time with it. Don't do shallow reading only. Read widely within the Catholic tradition. I have a very thick Catholic Bible study book. I have books made by saints who analyze the Bible. You read those as well. As well as the diaries of the saints, if they're available. Most of the books are already on the internet. You just have to download them in archive. They're free. Right? Recreation, sure, yes, go for recreation. Go play your golf, play your badminton, play whatever you need. Attend a good social life, join clubs. But remember, in recreation, it's not going to be automatically holy. And you bring virtue with you. You play basketball, you play the mean game, like you hit people because it's part of the game. If I don't do this, they will hit me. No, you bring your virtue in the game. Okay. And especially in terms of dress, you bring the modesty in the game, because there are games that are obviously designed to put you in immodest poses. So make sure, even if the game forces you to do that, you're not showing an excessive amount of body parts you're not supposed to show. Have some self-respect and in a normal respect for other people's dignity while you're there in recreation. Goal, when you're doing all this, is not to optimize for attention, like getting everyone's attention, but your goal is to become a person who can live a chaste life, who can live a pure life, and be sincerely in love with God. And again, you're the butterfly looking for the nectar. That's the point. It's not to attract people to you, but you want to be attracted to God. You want to have that habit. And when you do that, and God says, oh, wow, I'm going to reward you with singleness, and you're going to love it. And you're going to say, yes. And God says, I'm going to reward you with a spouse who's going to be so awesome, but he's going to help you overcome your defects. It's going to be hard, but you're going to love him or her. Then you're also going to say, thank you so much. In any situation, whether God leads you to become a priest, a nun, a single person, somebody way devoted to God, you are pursuing God, so he's going to give you the best there is.